What's up, boxing fans? This is the Rope-A-Dope. I am your host, Chris Carlson. Sorry, I just gotta do a little, shadow boxing. I get pumped up when there's a huge fight. Okay, I know you guys, if you're, or girls, if you're watching this, mostly guys, obviously, you get pumped up when you hear about a fight like this. Cotto versus Clottey. It's gonna happen. Bob Arum says it's gonna happen. He owns both of them. It's going to happen, okay? This is hard to predict, and this is gonna be a great fight. And supposedly, I'll pay for it. I'll pay for it anyway. But supposedly, it's a free fight on HBO, so that is even just like amazing. It just makes it even a better fight. Anyway, let's get into it. Now, Cotto fought a lot of good fighters at 140 and at 147. Boxers. A lot of people like Mosely versus Cotto. Tight fight. They landed, although you can't really go off CompuBox numbers exactly, but they landed the exact number of punches. So hopefully that fight's happens soon anyway. But he say what you want, but he's a brawler. I'm talking about Mosely. Okay, he's not a boxer. He's not a standard boxer. He's a brawler, and that's why I liked him against Margarito, because he has hand speed, and that was the difference in that fight. But he's had problems, Cotto, against boxers. Torres had him hurt. What the heck is his name? He fought Floyd. He kind of had a good fight with Floyd for a while. It's not Nadeau, but I can't remember his name all of a sudden. But he had him shook. He had him shook early on, and he has fast hands, and he's a pretty decent boxer. More of a brawler boxer. I already said Malignaggi, Torres. Guys that can box give Cotto some problems. Now, if you look at Malignaggi, he didn't have the power to do it, but he gave him all he wanted in that fight. Clottey, good fighter, solid fighter. I think he's a little more hungry right now. Although you can say Cotto would be hungry because of the Margarito loss, and we don't know if it was the plaster hand or not. He's going to be hungry to get back, in a big fight. So obviously he's going to be in front of his home crowd in Madison Square Garden, on the weekend of the Puerto Rican Day Parade. So he's going to be pumped. Don't get me wrong. And he's hungry, and he's a great fighter. He's fun to watch. Awesome, great fighter, okay? But the reason why I say hunger factor is because every big fight he's had, he's had some big fights. I'm talking about Clottey, but he broke both of his hands in the Margarito fight. He was killing Margarito and then lost that fight. I guess that worries me a little bit because he's supposed to be a defensive fighter and then comes with pretty fast hands and nice punches. He's not crazy power, but he definitely will get his punches off. It's kind of like he does it at punches and bunches, that saying. He may not punch the whole round, but there'll be a 30-second period where he's just really going good. Uppercuts, everything. He can throw a lot of good punches. Got a nice stiff jab. He's fought a lot of quality opponents. Baldomir, that was a weird loss, how that went down. He was doing well against him. Margarito, he lost, but he was doing well against him. The guy's been around for so long and fought some solid opposition. I actually just saw a classic fight of him last night against Diego Corrales. I think it was in 07. So I'm not going to sit there and say he's just Mr. Power and he knocks everybody out. But he definitely packs a punch. Zab Judah had success early, but, that's Zab Judah in most of his fights. But he did have success, and he has fast hands, and Cotto has fast hands. He's got had a good jab in that fight, Zab, and we all know Cotto's got a great jab. I just don't know if Cotto is ready to box the whole time or back up when he needs to. I'm just not ready. I just don't know if Cotto. I don't know if he, his mental game might still be messed up. Even before that, he was getting hurt, and a lot of people at 140 say, he was getting hurt just because of the weight. But he fought a handful of fights there. So after a while, you know, I think it's more of an excuse than the whole weight drainage. Because Zab had him hurt 2 times in the fight. We all know Margarito, what he did, as long as that was legit. Like I said, a bunch of guys at 140, like 3 guys had him either in trouble or like Malignaggi was holding his own. And he was beat up. Malignaggi was messed up in that fight, and he still held his own. He got knocked down, got up, still held his own. So as much as I want to go with Cotto, I'm going to go with Clottey. I think he's a better, by far a better, he's got that good shell defense, but he can throw punches out of it. You know, he definitely looks like he can go, you know, his conditioning is good. Like I said, he's hungry. I guess the ring rust would be the only problem I'd see Clottey, because he hasn't fought since, what was that, early August, I think August 2nd or something like that, Zab Judah. And, you know, he's a guy that feels out people and then really takes the fight over. He did that with Zab. He does that in most fights. I mean, once in a while, you know, against Diego, he took it over right away, and it was a good back-and-forth fight. I think this is going to be a great brawl no matter what. No, maybe a knockdown, but no knockouts. I see no knockouts on either side. I see just a war. I see like 250 punches landed, or at least 200. I see just a back-and-forth, action-packed. Cotto responds, Clottey responds, but I just think overall he's got a tighter defense, and I'm talking about Joshua Clottey. He hasn't been damaged, and I'm not saying Cotto's damaged goods, okay? Don't get me wrong. He's not damaged goods. I mean, he may be, but we don't know that, so I wouldn't say that. You know, he's still young, he's still experienced. You know, you could tell he was working on his footwork a little bit in that last fight, but it's hard to get a good judge of where he is, because Jennings was just, he had fast hands but no power. He was just running around. He was just an opponent, you know, and I understand why they picked that guy, but I just think Clottey, man, he's been waiting and avoided and all this stuff, and I think it's going to be his moment to shine. You know, he's had some moments in his career that were good, but you know, when he lost to Margarito with broken hands, you know, that was a bummer, because he was killing Margarito in that fight. Yeah, I guess, you know, if you have 2 broken hands, I mean, Floyd has a broken hand or messed up hand almost every fight he ever fought, or half the title fights, and he still was able to win fights on points. So, you know, maybe I'm kind of overrating his defense, but I just know he's gotten better over the years, and he's hungry. He's been around for a while. He took some losses, but he came back. And I'm going with Joshua Clottey on this one. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think. Tomorrow, it is Tuesday the 10th today. Tomorrow I'm going to have at least 2 more videos. The Lopez fight, the 122-pounder. I'm going to predict that one tomorrow. Preview it and predict it. And I'm probably going to have another preview and prediction show tomorrow on a fight too. I'm not quite sure which one I'm going to do. Anyway, this is another edition of the Rope-A-Dope Report. I am your host, Chris Carlson. Peace.